Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader at TechTrader.com. It's Thursday, October the 10th. These are the charts of the day. Well, interesting day on Wall Street. Up in the morning, down midday, back up in the afternoon to close positive day on a positive day with decent technicals. Nothing great. More importantly, about a dozen stocks that stood out for me today. I wanted to show you. Assure Biotech, which exploded 2 days ago and then pulled back, held support, and today popped or snapped back about almost 6% on 2/3 of a million. Now a lot of buying, but there's resistance right here. If we get through that, I'm looking for 9.5 and 10.25, maybe as high as 11.75 in the near term. BBBY, a major announcement today. A new CEO out of Target. The stock exploded on 52 million shares. That's a breakaway gap. You can see how the stock had been in a downtrend, ran up, platform, and then it broke out. I think we're going to see 14, 16, and 18 going forward. That's a new swing for us. Franny, well, I almost put a swing on this one because I love the breakaway move, the pull back, the coil, but I missed it, even though today it broke out up $1.60 or 10.5% on a million shares. The buying wasn't huge. I do think you're going to have to retest the 20 range short term and maybe get to 24. Those are my targets. GLNG broke out of an inverse head and shoulder type bottom through the 50, and it gapped and broke out with a $1.15 gain, almost 9%. The volume was 2.2 million, which is the biggest in a month. I think the stock accelerates and perhaps retest the 15, 16 zone on a near-term basis. Then maybe we're looking at 18.5. NVCR, I think it's getting ready. I want everyone to see the long run up it had, the multiple waves up. It's been a beautiful long-term trend. After getting up nearly 100 to 98 and change, almost 99, it came down over the last 60 days and 3 times held the 72 range. I would stop under that, but if you see the stock above 77.25 near term, you might get a quick run at 83, and it may even be 92 and 100 again. So 83, 92, and 99 would be my targets. Right aid, well, I was a little off here when I thought it was breaking out, and it did pull back, but it formed another right shoulder. For me, it's an inverse head and shoulders with a double left shoulder, a head and a right shoulder, or a rounding bottom, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is we need this to get up to 10, and it's off to the races with targets at 11.75, 14.5, and 19 eventually. But let's get that moving. Let's get that breakout first. RYAM, a long-term decline has seen it drop from 23 down to 2 and change, and then a V bottom with a pop up above the moving average and a pull back to test the moving averages, which we're crossing over right there, and it popped off of that. Now there's a double top resistance at around 5. We get through that, we're looking at 6 and 7 at least for this one going forward. SOLY has moved up for 3 days off the support around 10.5, currently 13.75 with a high of 14. If we take this out, and I believe that 15.25 to then 16 are, that zone is resistance. We get through that, it may fly to 19 and 22. SPWH, double bottom, base, breakout, retested a moving average, pop to resistance. Little pullback consolidation there, a low volume, and then boom, it exploded for the last 2 or 3 days, moving from 520 to 632 with the February high up around 670. I think it's going to test that short term, and it might run into the 7.5, 8 zone. TTOO, also a stock that had a big run but pulled back in a beautiful coil and held support. Double bottom in this one at 215. I'm looking for a move to 315, 3.75, and then maybe 5. And finally, TXMD also in a rising configuration after spiking off the low and forming a falling wedge, and then ran from the 2.5 range up to 4.5, pulled back, and it's running again. The 5th wave might get you to 5 or even 6. And that's my take for the charts of the day tonight, everybody. Have a good evening.